Hello, welcome back to Derail Valley with Freddy. Right, carrying on from where we left off, I've had a little bit of a break, not that you guys will see it, because I'm currently running a couple of episodes ahead of what's released. So, we have the DH4 here in City South. We need to go up to Machine Factory to retrieve the parts, but we do have a DH4 in the way. I was thinking, do I unload some jobs with it? I was thinking the cost of it and going, no. The reason being, I think it's time. As well as the DH4, I think it's time to upgrade and get the DH6. It's going to take another 2% off and increase our insurance copay by 30,000, which means we're really going to have to do manual services all the time. But it is going to add. So we've got two DH4s at the moment, so we can haul 1,200 tons up at 2%. So if we swap one of those out, so one DH4 for 600 tons, which is going to become the museum DH4 when we've got it repaired, which we will get it repaired fairly soon. So we find the DE6. The DE6 itself can haul 1,200 tons on its own up at 2%. So that'll up us to 1,600 tons up at 2%. That's a lot. Admittedly, the DE6, as you can see there, is 125 tons. Ouchie. So we've already got that going against us, because the DH4 is 77. So for the power we gain, we're not gaining that much in weight. The only problem with the DE6, we cannot use the remote control with it. It doesn't work apparently, from what I'm said. But we can use the control cable to run it off the DH4. So we can run it that way. And the DH4 shunting around the yard on a 0% is going to be plenty. And it is 1 ton up at 2%, so that's 1.5 tons up at 2% in the wet. I think it's time. Let me just have a look as well. Any other licenses we think we might get? Hazmat 3, I've not seen any Hazmat 3 jobs, and that's a lot of money. Military, we're either going to go all in or not bother at all. And at the moment, I think not bother at all. So the S60 doesn't add anything, but is going to cost us 20,000. I think it's the same for the DM3, which we haven't found the museum DM3 yet, and when the DM3 is less than a DE6. So yeah, that doesn't add anything. Right, let's have a look at our stats. So we're currently at minus 14% on deadline bonuses. Ouch. But we are still achieving the deadlines because we're doing the prep work before we set off, getting out there and getting it done. More than likely at the harbour will be a DE6. So that's where we're going to take our trains anyway. Because more than likely we'll get a job out of the harbour going up to Machine Factory. And we've got to get the carriage down and out anyway. So that's not an issue. So I think it's time to spend a bit of money and up what we can haul. So I'm going to go for it. It's 200,000 for a D6 license. So that drops us to 500,000, but we're going to be able to haul some serious weight and some serious jobs. And we know where the museum DE6 is. So that will help us as well. It's currently at City West. Right, so as I showed you in the last episode, we've got the little train over there, we've got a DH4 that we need to get out of the way. So I'll go get that out of the way quickly. Oh, I wish we could teleport farther. Oh, this is realistic. This is what it's about on realistic. It's the fun and games. Right. Okay, so starter, electrics, handbrake, cut out, fire up, and wait for the brake pressure to rise up. Oh, we're on a little bit of a gradient. So put the handbrake back on whilst the air pressure rises. So that's doing that. Should go get our trains and move them out. And I think we'll drop the back DH4 over there. I think that's going to be the best plan. So we want to keep the one with all the gizmos in. Handbrake on this one. Come on, let me in. There we go. So, brakes are all off. I think it'll be handy just keep a DH4 in the museum that we can use for moving stuff around as we need. Just double check we've not overshot before we move this around. Nope, we're good. Stick that back DH4 and any one of these over here really, it's just storage. Means we're pointing the right way as well when we move out. More than likely there will be a DH6 down at the harbour. So, as I'm feeling lazy, we need to get this out in the sunshine and recharged. More likely, given time, this will actually despawn from in here. But, again, not a problem. Because we should be having something around that we're bringing in anyway. So, detach all this. Oh, there we go, let me in. More likely keep this DH4 as our primary anyway, for the moment. Well, until we get the museum one repaired. Then we're going to switch everything across into the new one. Brake off. A little bit of power. Oh, I think I found a bug. Crikey. I'm going way too fast. Come back here, train. There we go. Never rains but it pours. So we're going to go a bit past the turn that we need. I think just going to back that DH4, pull it forward and back it into there, out of the way. for now. More likely it'll despawn and respawn in a bit. We need to get past this checkpoint anyway to get into here. Towing this little train is a bit like towing any other train, really. Not that way for now, because we don't really need it. So we're going to have to run this one manually anyway. There we go. Brake pressures are up. So, forward gear, brakes are off. Give some go-go juice. We'll probably incur a little bit of fees from doing this, but it is what it is. Oh, I'm thinking we're getting the DH6. Whoa. It is braking. I had a heart attack then. Don't want to go flying into our DH4, that would be bad. There's no jobs going from City West anywhere of real consequence for us, so we're not going to worry about that for now. Let's get this stopped. Apply the handbrake. Cut it off. That's that moved out of the way. Change that switch. Basically back straight up into this. Now this doesn't have a cable, so it can't be run together with the DH4. Oh! Somebody forgot to change the other switch. That would be me. Let's see, can I gauge this right at this distance? Brake about there. That's some impressive range on that. Give it some beans. Hopefully it's coming this way. Looks like it. Right, I'll show you hooking up to this, and that'll take us down to the harbour and we can have a look, see what jobs are down there. I'll do that off camera, both getting down there and sorting out for jobs. See what's going to do well for us. If we can get a job to City West, to hook up to that museum DH6, we'll do that as well. Probably won't repair the museum DH6 just yet, but soon. So for now, I'll hook this up, and then we can drop this when we get down there. Handbrake on this one is there. It's the cab heater, we don't need that. Put the star and the electrics on anyway. Try and remember this one. The fuel cutout for this is outside, but we're not actually going to be running it as a train itself. I'm trying to remember where the cutout is. There it is. Cutout's disconnected. Excellent. Right, okay. I'll get us down to harbour, sort jobs out, and decide what we're doing. That's a bit bright. Let's knock that down. Yeah, there we go. And I shall see you once we're all ready to go. Okay, so I'm down at harbour. This is at harbour now. Unfortunately, there's no jobs going to Machine Factory, which is unusual, but not the end of the world. There is, however, if I was really wanting to push, could do these 2 shunting jobs, which are both drop-offs, so unloading, and have quite a nice little bonus from there. Look at this job up to Iron Ore Mine West. Unfortunately, Iron Ore Mine West, way up here, way past Machine Factory. That is a tasty job at 89,000. That's a job we have done before, going up to Iron Ore Mine West, but we want to go to Machine Factory to load. Ideally, we want the DH6 from City West as well. Now there is 3 jobs, 1 for loading, 592 tons, and 2 lightweight hauling jobs. Now I know I said it'll more likely be a DE6 down here at Harbour. Unfortunately, we've had Curse of the Commentator. There is no DE6 down here. So we have now just got 1 DH4. Oh dear. And we are hauling, that back unit is 10 tons on its own. So we're kind of, yikes. So that'll be 530 plus the 70, that'll be 600 tons. And unfortunately, as you can probably hear, it's raining, which means we're 500 tons. Time is it? 3. So the rain's not due to stop till about 6. Yipes. I think our best bet is take these 2 jobs, because they're both being dropped off in exactly the same place, haul them up to City West, drop them off, pick up the DE6 and just drive up the Machine Factory, load up, turn around, see if there's any jobs coming down, and run back down to Harbour. Yeah, either run to Harbour or to City South, whichever's going to get us paid. So that we're at least getting paid for going there. So, we're going to take one and then the other. So let's figure out Harbour. So, our train is currently around about here. We're pretty much opposite. So, we're picking up one from G2S and C1S. So, G2 and C. So I think we're back into C, pick that up, pull forward, back into G, pick that up, and then get out of here. So we're going to keep left on that, and the one in C, which is that one's C1S. So it's going to be a keep left on there, into there. The other one's in G. Let's set that one now. G2S. Coming in from this way, keep left, keep right, G2S. Happy days, right, I shall see you once all this is hooked up, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we're all hooked up, ready to go. Hand these jobs in, and we shall get out of here. And this isn't going to be the most exciting run. As you can see, the rain has now cleared up, so that's going to make it even better for us. Now where we're dropping these off is actually quite unusual for me of A3S. I shall show you when we're en route. We'll set off. We're not overly weighty, so that's not going to be a problem. I think we're set for exiting the harbour. Yeah, keep right there. Keep right there. Yeah, that's good. We'll power down. Getting power is not going to be the problem with this load because it weighs next to nothing. And we're not overly heavy either. So it's just going to be pretty much a straight run. Right, I shall see you up at City West. Thankfully the curse of the Freddy has not applied to this run. Yay! Makes Freddy happy. So, this one is a bit of an unusual one for me because I've never actually pulled onto the line we're going on. But we're going to need to reverse in, so the first thing, we need to jump out here, get our controller out, and stop the train. Then I'll show you where we're going. I'm praying this all works to plan. That'll be a first. Hit the brakes now. Switch that one over and I should have this all set. Now both loads are going to A3S, which is here. Now I'm a bit perplexed of how we get such a big train into there in one go, because there's nothing joining here or a split here. So we're currently here. So we're going to keep right. That one doesn't apply. Keep left. I'm hoping we can come straight down here and keep right, but it's going to be quite tight. I don't know if it can be done. So, let's find out. Stand on the back of the train. Mo's using up some battery. We don't have a huge amount. So let's attack this. And the best way to attack something like this is slowly. He says as he's just applied a shed load of throttle. Now this is a bit of... I'm a bit sort of confused with this one a little bit. I'm not 100% on exactly what's going to happen. But we're going to give it a try. So if we don't try, we don't know. Because my concern is, that is a small turntable to try and get this train backed in, pulled down, and then go back up to that line, if that's what it takes. I don't know if that can be done. But looking at this now, this might just... Oh, I think I see something as well. I think this is going to work. Oh my word, is this train going to fit? Is it going to fit? We're definitely going where we want to be going. He says as we're not. Because that's A3S. We should have been over there. So pull forward. This is why you should do these things slowly. It says he just slams the power back on. But this is where trying to figure things out comes into play. So that one changed. We'll give this another try. There is the museum DH6, that's what we want. There's also a DH6 here. Aha! Yes, we're going the right way now. Less speed, less speed. Don't need as much speed here. So that is the beautiful DH6 there, the standard one. I think that one is facing the wrong way for what we want. I'm going to slow this down. The question is, have we got everything in? Not even by a long shot. Right, so we're going to have to give this some nudgies. Don't want to go too fast. We've got to hope and pray that isn't a job we actually need. So I don't know how far back that goes. Go and investigate. pod goes back some distance. So let's try that. Let's see where we're at the front. Still got a fair bit to go yet. It's shoving along nicely. That is good. Give it a bit more power if we need to. Yeah, I think we'll have a bit more power, get a bit more speed on. Not much. I think that will do us quite nicely just there. Brake on. So this is us getting paid for this job. It's over here. Nah. Fortunately, night time. Oh, that's the way of it. So now 17,000 for that. That's going to cover bills. And nice 14,000 for that. So that really covers the bills. Thank you very much. So back up to 575. See what jobs we've got here. Harbour, Oil Well North, and Food Factory. So nothing. Right. So I'll just pause this here. You've seen me re-rail one of the museum pieces. I'm going to get the D6, that one, hooked up behind this one, so we've got some pulling power. Get that on the back of the D6, and then behind that we shall get the museum piece. So right, I shall see you when that's all done. Right, so here we have our train now. We've got our DH4 at the front, D6, utility car, and the museum D6. Tasty. As you can see, this is now some weight we've got just with this. So remember rightly, D6s are 125 tons each. That one's going to be weighing a little bit more. That's 10 tons. And that's 70 odd tons. And I got us a flashlight as well, because I popped to the store, bought a few things. It's solar recharged, a bit like the wireless remote. Right, so we're going up to Machine Factory. I can find it. In fact, let's up the lights a bit. That'll probably help. There we go. Now we need to load. So we're coming in from the south, so we're going to keep right, keep left. I believe we're loading at C. Yep, so we're going to keep left, into C, load. Then we've got to turn around. Somehow I've got to figure this, because we are too long now to turn around at E. Interesting. I'll figure that out. So, coming out of City West, we keep left. Coal power plant's the other one. Should be preset. We don't tend to do a lot around coal power plant. So I want to keep right there. Happy days. So, set our lights. Brakes are off. Let's get going, and I will see you up at Machine Factory. And we're just rolling into Machine Factory now. Coming up on C, and we want C1L, which is what we are set for, because we need to load the parts for our DH4. And we can have a look at jobs, see if there's anything going to the harbour. brakes now. A bit dynamic braking as well. Okay, so switch off for a minute, save some fuel. Training range to load. Train fully loaded. So, a little box car now. Has these two boxes on board. These are the parts for our DH4. Glorious. We'll have to come back up here at some point as well and get the parts for the DE6. Get it back. So what jobs have we got here? We've got one going down to the hub. Ooh, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Ooh. There's two jobs as well going to City South. Ooh, but that's a lot of money. I did spend a little bit whilst we were there. These two shunting jobs here. Going to City South. It's City South we want to go to take everything back, but that is a lot of money. 450 tons. Now we got the DE6. The weight of all of these isn't going to be a problem. I could shunt these two around with just the DH4, get them done, prepared, pick this up as well. That'd be a nice little combo. Obviously we're going to have to drop off the harbour job first. So I have to run down, get into the harbour, drop that off. It's going into G, which is down here, so I'd have to come past, reverse into C, come out, reverse into G, drop that off. Then we're pointing the right direction for coming to City South. Drop these two off, and then going back into the museum. And we get more money. Money, 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 money. Ooh, it's tasty. It's going to cost us a fair bit as well to repair that DH4. So although we're 5:30, I'd say we're about 3:30. So that's going to help us get back up. And even though with the weight of the power of the DH4 only 600 tons, and that's definitely exceeding the DE6 as well. The DE6 is going to handle that on its own. So with the hauling of the museum DE6 and the parts for the museum DH4, that ain't going to be a problem. We're going to run both locos, but that is not going to be an issue. Right, I'll come back when I've got these done, because I think this is too good an opportunity to pass up, and that's definitely. Mind you, there's not a lot of time for getting those to City South. 23. Oh, it's 23 minutes for shunting. I was about to say 23 minutes to get to City South. And this one's 123 minutes. No, it's 23 minutes to get these shunted and loaded. Right. Right, I'll come back once these are done. Okay, and welcome back. And that has taken me a frickin' ice age to put together, as well as sort out. And Jesus, it is a long train. This is all our train. All the way down here. 430 meters. Train. Oh, big boy. But it's going to get us where we want to go. It's going to get us paid. Yes. We're definitely going to need the D6. Unfortunately, it rained as well during a lot of it, which was less than ideal. So that was more than slightly irritating. But we just can't pass up that amount of money. I mean, it's going to be a pain to get this into harbour and sorted out, but that's just what it is. Right, speaking of harbour, I've set the route already. See. We're going to want to go into the loading line with how big this train is. Can't guarantee that intake line is going to be empty. Should be. Can't guarantee. So we'll set as the loading line and go from there. Because the plan is we're going to drive in. Drive into C. Reverse back into G, drop that big job off, boot it out, up to City West. I've already set our route out Machine Factory, through City West, back down basically the exact same line as what we've just done. So, let's go start the DE6. I've refueled the DE4 as well because we went through over half a tank of fuel just getting sorted out. So I want to make sure we're not short for the journey. This is going to be a long one. And cab lights on. Just briefly, yep, this is the inside of the D6. Slightly different controls, but pretty much the same as what we're familiar with. So it's going to be good. That's it, powered up. We are good to go. So, set lights. Already set. Right. As you can see, it's nearly 9:20 already, so it's going to be yet another night run. I do apologise about that. Got a distance tracker already set. Everything set. We are ready to go. Right. Let's get down there. City West. As you can, well, those eagerly eyed amongst you will have noticed that job we dropped off at Harbour was worth 140,000. So nice. This one's worth 77. Tasty. This one's worth 71. So we've made an absolute fortune coming back down and back up to 710,000. I did make a quick purchase before we actually left up there. Just look at that, 22,000 each for dropping those off. Ugh, tasty. Nothing overly too tasty here at the moment, but we're not too concerned about that. We want to be sorting this out. So, as you can see, daylight is coming. We want that middle line. Stand up here so that we get some daylight. We can make use of it and recharge our remote. Now this is going to be the more challenging part, because we've got to get this D6 parked up, and I want to get the DH4 and the DH4 and DE6 we are currently using as our main unit into the service bay to actually service them. Now I don't think this entire train is actually going to fit in, and the DE6 is currently the wrong way round, and so is the utility car. Let's get some speed. Now this is going to be less of an issue because we've got a turntable, but I don't think this whole train with two DE6s, the DH4 and the utility car is going to fit on that entire turntable. The good news, the turntable is facing the right direction. And instead of the DH3, we've now got DE2 over there. Oh well, could be worse. I can certainly think of worse trains to have lying about. I think we did leave DH4 over there, so start getting some brake on. Start getting a lot of brake on. Flip that over. And this is going to be the last time we actually use this DH4, because we're going to do up completely and replace this DH4 with the museum one, and it's going to look a lot nicer. There's also going to be a couple of extra bits added in. So I've got a lot of stuff to sort out in the shed between episodes. Getting preparation, it will be the next episode for doing this. I'll just show this going away. I appreciate this episode has probably gone on a little bit longer than I originally anticipated. It's actually taken me 2 days to record. Blessed be thy work. Real life work. It sucks, and we know it does, but hey, this is part and parcel. Thankfully I didn't forget where we were up to, and I've had most of this video edited on the first day, so haha, bonus for me. Just going to take it nice and slowly onto this turntable. We're going to see how much we can actually get on this turntable. As I said, I don't think it's all going to fit. I really don't. I'll be impressed if we can get the DH4 and two DE6s on. Kill the speed off a bit, not quite that much. We're going to step out and use the remote. Ooh, brakey, 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 brakey. If we go a bit too far, it's not a problem. A little bit more. That's about as much as I reckon we're going to get on. Yeah. As you can see there, that just, it isn't going to work. Oh, apparently it did recognise the museum pieces. So that's a bonus for us. So it's automatically unloaded those. I'm going to detach this. I'm not actually going to use the little utility car. Ah. So right, now I've got to remember how to freaking do this. brake cut out. I'll select forward gear. Neutral, yeah, train braking, all that should be off, so hopefully, fingers crossed. Something's not quite right. This was able to move it before. There we go. Just need more power. Ooh, wheel slip. We don't want wheel slip. It's not a particularly quick thing, but it'll do good enough for getting us moved around. Good thing, as it's not particularly quick, we can see what we're doing. We want to be nice and clear. There we go. That should do. So we can kill the power there. Light brake. The brake on this thing is actually pretty darn good. We'll just leave this running for a minute. So we want this bay. Righty ho. So round and round the turntable you go. We're probably going to want to pull in enough to get the DH4 and Ds. Well, we definitely need to get as far in as we can. Whether we can get both in, I'm not 100%. Right, so we shall give it a try. We're going to have to pull it in as far as we can. And probably have to service off. Brake, 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 brake. One more brake than I wanted. Yeah, that's... are we all the way in? We are all the way in. Right, let's switch this off for the moment. We don't need that. Reset the turntable. Now reversing the D6 in isn't going to be a problem, because once we've repaired the D6 we can use the D6 engine to get itself out. So for now it's just getting in. Right. Neutral, reverse, go for 1. Fancy blowing the traction motor. This is not what this thing is actually designed for. It's just because I've got it attached. Let's hit the brakes there. Right, we need to find where D6 goes in this one. See it there? Right, so let's turn the turntable again. Excellent, right. Now we can pack the bad boy in. Don't want too much speed. Thankfully we can see through the door. Not a little bit more than that. Well, let me just double check. Have I got it in the right one? No, I don't. I've made a boo-boo. Struggling there. Just let it roll, it roll. We'll get you where you're going, DH6, don't you worry. As we already know, the brake's pretty darn good. Yeah, the arrow. DH6 goes in this one. Silly me. I wonder why it hasn't come up that it's home. Right. Into reverse. Doesn't help. The D6 currently is in a very, very broken state. So it's adding extra friction because all the wheels are knackered. There we go, tow home. It's saying it's effectively home. So that'll do. Handbrake on, because we don't want it rolling away, because re-rails cost money. Oop. I didn't have that clicked properly. Right, so let's get this bad boy parked up. I'm just going to park this thing over there for now. Yeah, it moves so much better on its own. That's really how this thing's designed to operate, just on its own. Oh, I'll go the other way. So I want to reverse it in. And we'll finish off just by servicing our trains. So you can see how much that whole journey's cost. We'll have a nice end figure ready to start redoing our lovely DH4 museum piece. This thing's actually quite quick on its own. The gearing's a little tricky to work out, but it works. Let's apply the brake there. Put the handbrake on. The train cut off on this one is outside, just here. So there we go. So the final thing for this episode, let's service our trains. Thankfully, ooh, is it going to reach? Is it going to reach? Oh, just look at the stretch on that. Right, so repaired, repaired, repaired. Body's good. Oil's always the big one, along with fuel. Just one. So the full service on both of these, 12,000. Tasty. So we made a heck of money. Good, so we finish on 697,000. Oh, that's soon going to go rapidly down. Along with doing up our Museum DH4, we are going to repair, repaint, do all that good stuff to it. And we will be putting on extra lights, so nighttime running should be a bit more viewing pleasurable. But for now, I shall see you again next time.